So what does this all come down to? Well, I think honestly, it comes down to this. You don't matter. My name's Brandon, and on my main channel, we just hit monetization 3 months ago. We've already made over $4,300. So I want to teach you how to do it too. Successful YouTubers are successful for a reason. And so today we're going to look at Peter McKinnon, Dave Ramsey, Linus Tech Tips, and of course, PewDiePie to talk about why are they successful and what started them on that journey. This is step number 1 that you need in order to be successful on YouTube. So what is it? Well, point blank, TLDR, it's value. You need value. And what does that even mean? Well, it means that you're caring more about your audience than you're caring about yourself. So here's what they know that you don't. Let's start with Peter McKinnon. Now, Peter McKinnon's first video that really blew up was called 8 camera hacks in 90 seconds. If you're a fan of Peter McKinnon, I'm pretty sure you've seen this video. It's huge. So 3 things that Peter does in this video really well. First, he doesn't waste any of your time. He goes straight into the video, the music is popping, and all the tips just come flying through, one after the other. And he sets this up very clear from the very beginning of the video, right? 8 camera hacks in 90 seconds. So you don't have to take a long time to watch this video to dive into these camera hacks. These are just things that you can do quickly. Secondly, he doesn't add any extra detail that's not needed in the video, right? He doesn't show his face until the very end of the video. And then thirdly, he's giving tips that, well, a lot of people believe to be really good, useful things. Now, some of these are controversial as well, which made people click on the video in the first place, even down to the thumbnail. Peter is holding up a knife to a camera lens that we all know is worth a lot of money. So this is a big controversial thing that Peter did in order for people to click on the video in the first place. But I believe if these tips were just trash completely, nobody would have watched this video because it wouldn't have been useful. But some of these tips actually work, and I've seen people use some of these tips all over YouTube. Next, let's go to one of the biggest creators on the platform, PewDiePie. Over 100 million subscribers. But how did he start? Now, if you don't know PewDiePie, which I would be surprised if you didn't, he is a gaming YouTuber. At least he was. Pretty much nowadays, he can do whatever he wants. Why? Because he's put in year after year after year of value. And so now people trust him. But when he started to gain traction, he was playing a game called Amnesia. Now, Amnesia is a horror game, and PewDiePie used this to his advantage. His dramatic outbursts and his screaming made him famous over the internet. If it's fun to be scared in a video game, how much more would it be to see your friend getting scared in a video game? And this is what PewDiePie used to get his traction and gain followers on YouTube. Because as people followed along for his Amnesia series, they got in the habit of watching his videos, to the point where they got interested in him. And this is a big point we're going to talk about later. PewDiePie created fun. It's not that nobody else was playing these games, but the way in which he did it, the interaction with his community that he had, it was something that made PewDiePie his own, and obviously launched his huge career. The gameplay itself became secondary. Many of the people that watched these videos never even played the game because they weren't interested. They were more interested in seeing how Felix would react in these situations. And remember, this value thing is everywhere on YouTube. It's not just in one specific niche, it's everywhere. So even when you're entertaining somebody like PewDiePie, it's important to give value in that entertainment. And speaking of value, if you guys are getting value out of this video, I'd love it if you subscribed and liked this video. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by next summer. So if you could help me out with that, that would be amazing. Now let's move on to Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has been a personality in money and finances for a very long time. He was a radio host before he was ever on TV or even on YouTube. He's done thousands of live events, and thousands more of his classes have been taught all over the nation, teaching about financial freedom and financial peace. He's trying to help specific people with specific questions. And so when a grandmother calls into his show asking what she should do with her fortune, even though her kids have misbehaved, he answers the question to the best of his ability using the principles that he's been teaching everybody for years. Now, this is a huge piece of advice that we hear from many of the YouTube gurus, including Sean Cannell from Think Media. We have to answer specific questions. Otherwise, we're just kind of throwing out generalities, and it doesn't really help that many people. And if you want your channel to grow, that's my mission, is to help you with specific things. And so if you're interested in that, go ahead and fill out the form in the description below, and I'd love to have you on the channel to discuss what you can do and exactly how we could walk through that process. Let's do this together. Also, Dave Ramsey is talking about one of the most confusing and yet important things in our life: money. We all have money, and we all have to deal with money no matter how much or little that we have. And it's something that all of us have to think about on a day-to-day basis. So this becomes a huge value point to a lot of people, because Dave Ramsey is giving you solutions for a lot of these problems, and not just general ones, but specific ones. And I think to top all of it off, Dave isn't afraid to tell you that you're wrong, to tell you black and white what he thinks that you should do. and try to motivate you to do that. Again, taking some of these generalities and decisions away from you helps you to make those decisions to move forward in your financial journey. And then last but not least, we have Linus Tech Tips. This is an amazing channel that talks about tech, computers, PC gaming, a lot of different stuff. But again, totally different than the other three we've talked about so far. The value that Linus brings is a little bit different than the others. He's an extremist in a lot of ways. What is the best PC build? What is the worst PC build? What is the most expensive PC build? What is the cheapest PC build? How can we have 10 people play a game off of one PC? There's these interesting things that Linus has been doing for years now. And you can tell, even looking at his most popular videos, with an exception of a fire truck, all of these videos have to do with extreme value. Number 1, building a PC using only Wish. This is an extremely interesting concept, right? Because Wish is a place where you can get stuff for very cheap. And so can you really build a PC off of that? Or would they just scam you into parts that you didn't actually buy? And then going down to his 4th largest video with 12 million views. Faster internet for free in 30 seconds. No, seriously. These videos are extremely thought out in their value that they're giving to the audience, because Linus knows what's most important. Now, Linus gives value because he has access to the newest or most expensive tech that many people maybe wouldn't be able to get or haven't gotten yet because it's not out yet. This is a big advantage to him for sure, and it allows him to give a lot of value in his videos. But at the same time, his most popular videos all show practical tools that you can use to get faster internet, or to build a cheaper PC, or to build a better PC. So what does this all come down to? Well, I think honestly, it comes down to this. You don't matter until you do. All of these channels, no matter how different they are, all started in the same place, 0 subscribers. But in order for them to get the traction that they needed, whether that happened quickly or slowly, they needed to offer value. But now, Linus or Peter or PewDiePie especially, they can post whatever they want and people will watch, because they've been offering value for years now. Over time, your value turns into trust. And I think this is the most important thing about being a creator on YouTube, is that people trust you. If you watch my videos and you try something that I tell you to try and it doesn't work, you're gonna lose trust in me. But if I'm able to give you specific advice and help you along the way and kind of teach you why things aren't working or why they are working, then you're gonna gain trust in me. And I hope that that brings you to subscribe to my channel. The purpose of your channel should not be self-indulgence, but it should be to build up your audience, the people who really care about what you're doing. Because again, they don't quite yet care about you. So the next question is, if my goal of my channel is to build up my community, to build up my audience, then who is my audience? And we're gonna talk about that next time.